Hello, YouTube. I'm Vince White. I'm an employment attorney, and on this channel, we answer publicly posted questions from YouTube users, getting folks the answer they need from an employment attorney. We have a question here from YouTube user Fat Fish Can't Swim. And YouTube user Fat Fish Can't Swim asked us, "Good morning. I am a pro se litigant. I have used ChatGPT to create a full mediation binder. It said I am in the top 1% of people who have developed a case utilizing their technology. And it stated I have the most one of powerful retaliation claims it has ever produced. So I guess one of the most powerful retaliation claims it's ever produced. Should I even hire an attorney? I mean, I know I need one for trial, but I imagine with so many people that use GPT, I have accomplished something pretty unique. Please share your opinion." And then the question goes on. There's a second question from the same user. Side note, I have not secured representation. Okay. So Fat Fish Can't Swim. Listen, I don't know your case. I can't evaluate your case. I don't know if ChatGPT is right or wrong. However, what I will say is that in my experience, and we have a video that was released on June the 14th of 2025. It's a 15-minute video about AI misleading pro se litigants and clients in the employment litigation sphere. The reality of the situation is this. ChatGPT is, and all AI that we have tested, all of the large AI models that we've tested, and all of the law-specific smaller AI models that we've tested are functionally misinformation machines. They are misinformation in terms of producing ghost cases, fake case law, improper holdings of existing cases. They are not properly trained on case valuation. They are not really capable legal writers in terms of citing to case law. And let me be clear. They are viable tools that can be used with proper care. However, most pro se litigants, I don't know you may be a very talented and sophisticated AI user who also has a depth of knowledge about legal writing. Like you may very well be, right? Excuse me. But most pro se litigants and clients most do not have the capabilities to contend with the hallucinations of AI, the various foibles and failings of AI, and the depth of knowledge on how to utilize and check citations and jeopardize cases and legal right, that they are able to combine what AI has given them with a due caution and a due diligence and make it a usable product. So I guess that's the first part of my answer. The second part, I mean, you're essentially saying that ChatGPT is saying your case is incredibly strong, and I think you're also arguing that it's of high value, that ChatGPT is telling you that. So listen, I don't think that ChatGPT has ever, in my experience, produced a meritorious evaluation of the liability of a case. Let me break that down. The liability, the phrase liability in our field means like, case going to win or going to lose, not how much it's going to win. If it wins, but will the case win or lose? Will a claim present in this case make it over the finish line? Will it be settled for dollars, or would it win at trial, right? And in my opinion, and in my experience, and in our testing, which is all still just my opinion, I'm not looking to get sued here, most of the large AI models, in my opinion, all of the large AI models that we've tested have no ability to reason out the liability on a case. They have no ability to look at the evidence on a case and make a decision, hey, is this case likely to win or lose at trial? And part of that is, listen, it's really hard to guess what a jury of 6 to however many people might think about a case that has not been put on. But also further, you're plugging in your data on your case. You're not plugging in the defense's arguments. So the AI is already working at, even if the AI was capable, which I would argue, in my opinion, it is not, of this evaluation process. Even if it was capable, you're only giving it one side of the story. So like, low key, how asinine is that? Hey, do I have a good case? I only gave you the stuff that's good, right? And I'm not saying you're doing that, but that is what most people do. They don't plug in the defense's arguments. They don't go and scour the defense's motions for their best exhibits, the best evidence the defense has, to give the AI a fair and balanced ability to evaluate liability. Like that's just not really how most people are operating AI. Even if they were, I would still have concerns about the AI's ability to ascertain liability. And then I will further tell you, when it comes to valuation, AI is mostly giving, to the extent I understand, it is mostly trained on publicly available verdicts and gives heavy weight to heavily publicized verdicts in the journalistic sphere. Here's the issue. It doesn't actually seem to have a full grasp of when those verdicts are reported and then not collected, because they're later knocked down on appeal or knocked down by a judge. And it also doesn't have access to any of the confidential decisions, all the confidential agency hearings, all the bench trials that are confidential, all the arbitrations that are confidential. It has no access to any of those verdicts. So that's a huge spectrum of the verdicts in this field that AI does not have access to. It cannot train on. But also, I think about 99% of the historical settlements in this field are confidential. It's just now, really, that you're starting to see more and more non-confidential settlements take place because some laws in some places are changing, and there's a societal pressure, like confidentiality and mutual non-disparagement is a little bit too much. We think societally we shouldn't be silencing victims. There's a pushback on that, right? That's super new. Like, we're talking like the last 3 years on that pushback. When this field goes back, you can argue 1964, a little before, potentially. It's a fairly young field of law in terms of the law, right? And so what I'm saying to you is, hey, you're asking an AI, which needs to train on data to give you answers, to give you only potentially the heavily publicized outsized verdicts that get headlines, and not 99% of all settlements, and not all these arbitration, all these private docket agency decisions and findings and verdicts. And I think it's pretty meaningful, because I think that causes AI to give you absurdist valuations that have no merit, no value in terms of its reasoning. They're poorly reasoned. They don't make sense. They just aberrations that any employment attorney would look and be like, yeah, you don't have a $30 million case. I don't care what ChatGPT tells you. Your economic damages are like $300K. Your emotional damages are going to be between 1 and 200. You've got some punitives in play, and that's unknowable. That could be sizable, but like, it's not going to be 30 million. And even if a jury did give you 30 million, I don't think you would be able to collect it. I think a judge would knock it down. I think it would fail on appeal. This finding from ChatGPT or whatever AI model you're dealing with is just simple gibberish. It's just nonsense. And because AI is the next big thing, and it's the magic box, it's got all the answers, people would just be like, no, I can't believe that. AI knows everything, and my attorney is just selling me out. And you'll get these like kind of wild arguments where it's just like, well, ChatGPT says my case is worth 30 million. Okay, well, that's not valuable information. Like it's and we can talk about why. And I created a 15-minute video about the failings of AI in our industry with specific examples drawn from multiple firms, because I don't want it to be personal, right? When I'm having a conversation with a client and they're like, well, ChatGPT says my case is worth 30 million. I'd be like, okay, so no shade at you. I made this generalized video discussing in depth the failings of AI valuations, because I don't want this to feel targeted at you, because you're going to hear me. If I tell you like, hey, this is why this doesn't make sense, it's going to come across as, hey, stupid, don't be so effing stupid. And that's not how I mean it, because it makes sense that you would turn. This is a difficult field. There's a lot of subtlety. There's a lot of law. There's a lot of technicality in this field. And I'm not comparing our field to brain surgery, but if I go hire a brain surgeon, I don't know a lot about what a good brain surgeon looks like, and I don't really know how to evaluate them, right? So I might go to ChatGPT and be like, what's like a good credential for brain surgeons, you know? What should I be looking for? And it might have answers, and I'm probably going to act on those answers, even though maybe, frankly, ChatGPT doesn't really know how to hire a brain surgeon, because ChatGPT doesn't have a brain, technically, at least not a meat one, right? And you know, it just might not be the thing that it's best at, and it might not have a lot of experience, but it's going to give you an answer. And that answer could be well-reasoned, or it could be hallucinated entirely, because that's what AI often does. So listen, fat fish can't swim. I'm not saying you don't have one of the most powerful cases, one of the most valuable retaliation cases the world has ever seen. I'm just saying, statistically speaking, that's incredibly unlikely. And the fact that AI says it so would almost lead me to have an inverse belief, if I'm being realistic with you. Like, AI saying you have one of the most valuable retaliation cases ever would actually have me leaving that AI prompt response like, yeah, this case is probably not, that's probably not true about this case. Like, it would actually cause me to believe the opposite. Not because, I guess simply just expressing like the very low esteem that I hold an AI valuation of a case in. I have never, not a once, seen AI provide a useful or even well-founded or well-reasoned valuation for a case. And I have only seen AI harm people who try to rely upon it for valuation. Only seen harm of pro se litigants and clients. Over and over and over again. It is a vast and serious detriment in our industry. And I want it to be fixed. Like, people are going to be like, oh, this guy's just saying that because he wants you to hire an attorney and you can do it all with ChatGPT. You can't. You just can't. That's just not true today. June the 15th, 2025. That is simply not true today. ChatGPT will do you more harm in litigation than good. That is my very sincerely held opinion. A year from now, that may no longer be true. A year from now, I may have an associate named ChatGPT who operates a caseload, right? I don't think we will. I don't think we're there. Listen, this looks more like a 5 to 10 year fix horizon. Like, will ChatGPT get there? Maybe. I think probably. But that might be in 5 to 10 years. It does not appear to be technology that is ready for go in our industry right now. And I know that's not true in other industries. Like, I know programmers who are like, yeah, ChatGPT does my job for me now. I'm just giving it prompts, then I clean up the prompts, and I have the code, and I'm getting 7x done. That's amazing. I'm really glad that AI has like fully learned how to do those things. That's a tremendous tool for society. Might have some repercussions for employees we need to keep an eye on, but like, that's tremendous. That is simply not true in our industry. You are better off with a bottom of the barrel employment attorney than AI in 2025, in my sincere opinion. That will not be a popular opinion, but that's not my job. I don't tell you what you want to hear. I tell you what I really think, and then you make your informed decisions on your own. I don't tell you what to do, right? Anyways, I hope this is a valuable answer for you. Fat fish can't swim. I hope this was helpful. If it was, like, subscribe, comment down below, share our channel so it can grow. It is certainly how we help more people just like you. Take care.